If you're an active 50 million subscriber, you probably remember the famous Miami Mall alien sighting that went viral recently. But here's something even more interesting. That same night when chaos broke out at the mall, a local resident reported seeing a UFO nearby. It wasn't just any typical disc-shaped object. This one looked far more advanced, glowing with strange lights from inside. The object was moving slowly toward the mall, almost like it had a purpose. And here's where things get strange. After that night, the so-called alien was never seen again, which raises a question. Did that UFO come to pick it up? And if that's true, authorities clearly couldn't stop whatever happened. Because since then, there is a flood of UFO sightings caught on camera. Unidentified object. Recently in Brazil, something strange happened in a small town. Locals noticed a huge glowing object far in the distance, slowly rising into the sky.
My gosh, it looks amazing.
It wasn't moving like a plane, and it didn't blink like a satellite. If something like that appeared here, we might assume it was NASA or Starlink. But there was no such explanation in Brazil. The object kept rising, glowing silently, until it completely disappeared. Authorities gave no clear update. Some residents believe a visitor from the sky simply came and left. Mysterious UFO. In Mumbai, India, locals witnessed something they never believed they would see. A huge ring-shaped UFO was seen crashing from the sky. It was unusually big and glowing. It looked like it had malfunctioned, but surprisingly, before it could crash, it disappeared. No one understood what actually happened there. UFO above fields. In Mexico, a farmer was working in his fields one evening when something strange caught his eye. Up in the sky, a UFO hovered in one spot, spinning slowly. Bright colors were flashing from it, almost like it was scanning the ground below. It didn't move away, it just stayed there, watching. The farmer became scared and hid in the fields. After some time, he carefully escaped from there because he was afraid that the UFO might abduct him. Giant spacecraft. Late one night in Ohio, two friends witnessed something that seemed ripped straight from a sci-fi movie. A massive, dark alien spaceship was moving slowly just above the ground, extremely close to them. Blue lights were glowing from it, but the craft itself was so dark they couldn't clearly see its full shape. What shocked them most was how something that huge could fly so low without making chaos. They just stood there, completely stunned, watching it pass. Eventually, it moved away into the darkness. But one thing felt certain to them. Visitors may be arriving from outer space. Unusual color shift. A strange object was seen in Mexico, moving fast across the sky with red glowing lights. Then suddenly, the red light shifted into a bright white glow. At first, no one could understand its shape. It was just a flashing blur in the darkness. After a few moments, things became clearer. It was a disc-shaped UFO. Strangely, it returned to the same spot and seemed to observe the entire area. The biggest mystery was why it kept changing colors mid-flight. Mysterious search. While returning from the hills in Peru, a hiker noticed something unusual in the city sky. Multiple red, disc-shaped objects were hovering above, appearing and disappearing. It all felt unreal. Then, one tiny glowing orb drifted down near the ground, moving slowly as if searching for something. The hiker watched nervously, unsure what he was witnessing. After a while, the objects vanished one by one. They left as suddenly as they came. But the biggest question remained. What exactly were they looking for? Mid-air encounter. A UFO researcher was heading to Peru to investigate mysterious sightings. But during the flight, something unbelievable happened. When he looked out the window, a glowing disc-shaped object was flying casually alongside the plane.
Nossa!
It wasn't far away. It was right there, matching the aircraft's speed. He was stunned. There was no confusion in his mind about what he was seeing. This wasn't a reflection or another plane. After a few moments, the object suddenly moved away and vanished. For him, that sighting brought unexpected clarity to his research.
So that thing is going like to the...
Invisible UFO. Now, here's a strange clip that will surely puzzle you. A man in Texas had a piece of glass, and he casually held it up to the sky. Through the glass, he saw a UFO hovering above.
Оп.
He was stunned, but the real twist came next. When he looked at the same spot without the glass, the sky was completely clear.
Вот такая вот хуйня. Оп. И все. Обычное небо, обычные люди.
This makes you wonder, could they be anywhere around us, invisible to the naked eye, only appearing when certain conditions reveal them? Glowing UFO. A man standing on the edge of a downtown skyscraper captured something incredible on camera. Above the city, a disc-shaped object drifted silently, glowing and unmistakably looking like a UFO. He shared the footage online, and opinions immediately exploded. Some blamed the government, claiming they were hiding the truth about UFOs. Others were simply worried, wondering why something like this was appearing over a populated city. Whatever the reason, the clip left viewers stunned, questioning what really hovers above our cities when no one's looking. Super fast objects. A tourist in New York was recording the city from his apartment when something unexpected happened. In the distance, near a building, a glowing object shot across the sky. Within seconds, another zoomed past at full speed. At that speed, it was impossible to see their shapes clearly. They left behind a mystery about what they were. Mystery in sky. One evening in Peru, as people were driving home from work, something strange appeared in the sky. The object stayed still, but no one could make out its shape.
Familia, sí existen los ovnis.
One concerned local even reported it to the authorities. But, surprisingly, the response was nothing. No one seemed interested, and it was quickly brushed off. Was it really a visitor from outer space? Or did the authorities already know more than they were letting on? Otherworldly orbs. In Miami, a man was recording the city when something unusual caught his eye. 3 glowing objects were moving together across the sky.
Look, y'all thought I was playing. I know y'all see those lights. Look at them. Not the little ones because my little mirror thing.
At first, he thought they might be drones, but as he kept watching, it became clear they weren't. Their movements were too coordinated, too deliberate, almost as if they were observing everything below. The 3 orbs floated silently, mysterious and otherworldly. The sight left him shocked, making him wonder if these were not just lights, but visitors from beyond our world keeping a careful watch.
Look at that. And them clouds not even moving.
Skylight. A group of folks was hanging out outdoors somewhere in the US when they spotted a strange light high up in the sky. It was nothing like a plane and didn't fade out like a star. It just stayed put for almost an hour.
Holy... Hey! You guys see the light on the bottom? Yeah! That's crazy, bro.
They recorded the whole scene as the light pulsed, getting brighter and dimmer in a steady rhythm. When they posted the video online, some people thought it might be a military drone, but officials later said that there were no drones or aircraft scheduled in that area that night, leaving everyone scratching their heads about what they saw. Green UFO. In May 2024, a green disc-shaped UFO was spotted gliding silently over a city in Iraq. Recorded far from city lights, the object pulsed with light. It made sudden directional changes and bursts of speed, clearly unlike satellites, planes, or drones. Locals had never seen anything like it before, and were left completely baffled. Since that night, the UFO hasn't been seen again. Denver UFO. In 2023, a guy in Denver was on his way home late at night when he spotted this huge, disc-shaped object just floating above the rooftops. It seemed to have this weird glow coming from inside and wasn't moving at all. He started filming it because it was totally silent, nothing like the sounds you'd expect from a plane. Then, out of nowhere, a thin beam of light shot down to the ground, kind of pulsating, like it was checking things out. A lot of folks agreed it looked nothing like a normal aircraft, and everyone was left scratching their heads about what it really was. 3i Atlas spaceship. You've probably heard of Three-Eye Atlas, but a similar shaped object was recently spotted in Florida. It wasn't as big, but the shape was almost identical. Its lights blinked briefly, and it didn't rise high into the sky. It appeared only for a few seconds, as if it suddenly materialized. Then, just as quickly, it vanished. Many are wondering if there could be a connection to Three-Eye Atlas, like a smaller scout, or some link to that mysterious spaceship. Bizarre UFO. Something strange unfolded over the skies of Miami. One after another, unusual objects appeared, defying explanation. Near the woods, a bizarre UFO was spotted, a shape never seen before, tiny and rocket-shaped, with a glowing object hovering above. Possibly a camera or something else. It remained in the same spot for a while, before vanishing. Locals were left stunned. Whatever it was, something unusual was clearly happening that night, and no one has any idea what exactly passed silently through Miami's skies. Woods mystery. In a small town in Canada, a local's CCTV captured a sight that frightened the locals. In the middle of the night, a flying object appeared from the sky, seemingly landing in the nearby woods. Red lights were coming from it. This was a strange event because the next day, when locals checked the area, they found nothing unusual. The mystery remains. What could have been behind this sudden appearance? And where did the object go? Philippines beach. A group of teenagers hanging out on a beach in the Philippines was throwing rocks into the shallow water when one of them started recording. Out of nowhere, a huge saucer-shaped object appeared in the sky. The craft didn't drop anything or cause any damage, but just its sudden appearance freaked them out, and they took off running. The video eventually made its way online, showing that quick moment before they panicked. People started debating whether it was staged or real, but the way the teens reacted, chaos became the main thing everyone talked about. Pointing laser. Pointing a laser at any aircraft is a felony, but some guy in Big Bear Lake, California, filmed himself doing just that with a hovering object. The craft was making some crazy moves, like it was dodging the beam. Eventually, when the laser hit it just right, the object suddenly disappeared.
And now he's turning.
Ooh,
Yeah.
flashed.
Yeah, you see him?
The video blew up online, sparking worries about messing with unknown flying objects. Nobody really knows what the object was, which left everyone guessing.
Yeah, it just flashed.
I'm lasering at him.
Highway UFO. A recently released video taken from a car shows a bright object flying across the sky before it suddenly stops midair. The thing hovers for a bit, then takes off at an incredible speed. The footage is way clearer than a lot of older videos we've seen. People are buzzing about how the object changes direction so quickly and keeps that steady glow. Some folks think it might be advanced military tech, while others say its movements match long-standing stories about UFOs. The clip has quickly turned into one of the hottest topics of the year. Silent escort. A person in the US caught some footage of two glowing orbs slowly floating across the night sky. They didn't blink like plane lights or move like satellites, which made them stand out. What was really interesting was that a military helicopter was flying behind them, seemingly tracking their movement. All three lights stayed in a steady formation. Later on, officials confirmed there was a helicopter exercise happening in the area, but said they had no clue about the glowing objects. This only sparked more speculation online, with people wondering why the helicopter was so closely following the unexplained lights. Antarctica saucer. For years, there have been all sorts of rumors about Antarctica, and this video has sparked those talks again. Researchers in Antarctica captured footage of a big saucer-shaped object hovering over the icy landscape. Even with strong winds blowing, it stayed perfectly still. Those who saw it said there was no sound at all. After a bit, it slowly rose up and vanished into the snowy horizon. Given how strict the flight rules are in Antarctica, this sighting has brought back all the wild theories about strange happenings in that remote area. Flight encounter. A passenger on a flight over Alaska was gazing out the window at night when something caught their attention. A single object was emitting an intense, glowing light, and around it, several smaller, glowing orbs. The passenger watched in awe as the orbs moved carefully, almost like they were observing the plane. But as the aircraft got closer, the lights suddenly vanished, as if whoever or whatever was controlling them knew they might be noticed. What exactly could it have been? If you have any ideas, share them in the comments. Cloudy UFO. Construction site workers noticed a strange thing in the sky. At first, it looked like a cloud, but when they observed it carefully, it seemed like a UFO. Some thought it was a cloud because of its shape, but it was so huge and clearly not a cloud. It was quietly observing everything. After some time, it disappeared suddenly, as if it had never been there. The whole incident was very strange. Camper encounter. Let's head to the UK, where a man's camping trip turned into something truly otherworldly. Late at night, he heard a strange sound, almost like a plane approaching near the woods. Curious, he stepped out to check. First, he noticed an unusual glow. Then it became clear. A massive glowing disc-shaped UFO was passing right above him. He stood frozen in shock, struggling to process what he was seeing. He had no idea where it was headed. But one thing's certain, that camping trip became unforgettable. Outer space visitor. Late at night in Ohio, police officers on patrol noticed something strange far in the sky. Multiple glowing objects were moving together, catching their attention immediately. Shocked, they stopped the car to watch more closely.
You get this on your phone?
Yeah.
They were lower a minute ago. Stay behind the truck, all right?
All right.
Realizing this wasn't ordinary, they quickly contacted authorities to report what they were seeing. But to everyone's surprise, no one had any explanation. Whatever these objects were, the officers couldn't deny one thing. It felt like visitors from outer space were passing right above them. Giant spaceship. In Texas, locals witnessed something straight out of a sci-fi movie. At first, a massive mothership UFO appeared, giving off an eerie, almost intimidating vibe. But then it wasn't alone. A fleet of smaller UAPs surrounded it, moving in formation as if on a mission. The group slowly headed toward the nearby mountains. For days, the locals were on edge, wondering if something unusual would happen. But so far, nothing has occurred. The incident remains a mysterious sighting that puzzled everyone who witnessed it. Triangular UFO. Just days after Representative Anna Paulina Luna confirmed that UFOs are real, one of the most undeniable sightings surfaced in Ohio. A triangular-shaped UFO, glowing with lights, was caught on camera, and now the footage is going viral. People online can't stop talking about it. Some are comparing it to Project Bluebeam, saying things have gone to the next level. Others think it might have been a malfunction. Either way, it's one of those sightings that leaves you questioning what's really out there. Secret message. Blazing lights appeared across the night sky of Minas Gerais, Brazil, catching the attention of many locals. Its blinking glow was the only clue anyone had. Otherwise, it would have gone completely unnoticed.
Viado, vamos achar a linha dela, viado.
Não, cê é doido.
Tá de algum lugar, viado.
Even though no clear shape was visible, people were convinced it was sending a message. The lights weren't just random. They seemed intentional, almost like a secret signal. UFO mystery. A video recently shared on social media by an unknown source has left viewers puzzled. In it, a triangular-shaped UFO can be seen hovering near the woods, its interior glowing with red lights. The footage looks old, which makes it even more mysterious. Online, opinions vary widely. Some believe that aliens have possessed advanced technology for a long time, explaining this UFO. Others wonder why such a UFO was kept secret and hidden from the public. Austin Mothership. In 2020, a tourist in Austin caught a huge object hanging out high above the skyline. It was completely silent, and the lights were pulsing in a way that seemed intentional, not just random flashes. There were also two smaller objects nearby, moving smoothly and eventually merging back into the bigger one. Then, just like that, the whole thing disappeared. People who saw it said it felt like it was all coordinated, almost like it was surveying the area before taking off. Even years later, the video is still floating around, and nobody has given a solid explanation for it.
No se ha ido, ahí sigue sigue static.
Texas formation. A guy out late one night after grabbing a bite at McDonald's spotted 3 bright lights hovering in the Texas sky. He started recording as they flew around in a tight formation.
Hey y'all, welcome to McDonald's at 12 a.m. at night. Look what we got us right here.
The lights smoothly shifted positions, but stayed a good distance apart. At the time, there were already news stories about weird craft sightings across Texas, which made it even more interesting. Some people think these lights could be experimental military planes, while others wonder if it's something beyond normal tech. The video has sparked a lot of debate since then. Arctic Fleet. A leaked footage that's said to be from American researchers and military folks showed several unidentified flying objects near the Arctic Circle. The crafts looked like they were flying together in formation. People who saw it claimed they were later told to keep quiet about what they witnessed. Apparently, it wasn't just one object, but a whole fleet, which got everyone talking even more. There wasn't any official confirmation after that, but the video spread online and got people buzzing about more weird aerial sightings in those remote polar areas. Russian crash. During a conflict in Russia, there were reports of a UFO-like object crashing in a busy area. Locals rushed to check it out and started filming before the authorities showed up and cordoned off the site. Officials told onlookers it was just a drone, but the quick response and restricted area made people suspicious. Witnesses noted that the object's shape and the way it crashed looked pretty unusual. With not much info coming out afterward, folks started speculating whether it was some advanced tech or something way stranger. Kenzan sighting. In 2024, some huge unidentified objects were spotted and filmed near Mount Kenzan in Tokushima Prefecture, Japan, a spot that's known for UFO sightings. Tourists were totally taken by surprise as these massive crafts floated in the sky. Locals said they were used to seeing strange lights now and then, but these big and clear objects caught everyone's attention. Some skeptics thought it might just be advanced tech being tested by Japan. Still, the footage got people talking again about the mountain's reputation for weird aerial stuff. Chilean mystery. About a year ago in Chile, a woman witnessed something she initially believed was lightning flashing across the sky. When she reviewed her footage, she realized it showed a massive ship-like structure suspended in midair, glowing with an intense, fiery light, similar to a rocket in mid-launch.
The
video spread rapidly online, fueling widespread debate. What made it even more compelling was that another driver in the area captured the same object from a different angle. Speculation ranged from extraterrestrials to classified technology, yet few dismissed it outright. The clarity of the footage left many convinced they were looking at something far from ordinary. Mysterious junk. In March 2020, during the lockdown, a guy spotted something weird floating by while he was on his rooftop. It looked all uneven and kind of like a patchwork, almost like it was thrown together from random bits and pieces. Some researchers thought it might be some kind of experimental tech that humans made, while others wondered if it was something from outer space. The footage was clear enough to get people talking for real, but no one could figure out what it actually was. It's one of those strange sightings that leaves everyone guessing. Cover up. A guy in Scotland woke up to this huge splash, and what he saw next looked like something out of a sci-fi movie. A giant flying saucer was just chilling in the sky, blasting flames down to the ground. The wildest part? Everything else was totally normal. Planes were cruising by like it was just another Tuesday. People freaked out trying to figure it out. Some were sure aliens had finally arrived, while others thought it was some top-secret government experiment. But honestly, the big question is, what really happened? It's one of those mysteries that keeps us glancing up at the night sky. Glowing mystery. A guy in Brazil spotted something weird glowing up in the sky during the day. At first, it looked like the sun, but then it started moving across the sky. It was big and round, with what seemed like twisted or wing-like things sticking out from it. He recorded the whole thing and shared it online, which sparked a ton of reactions. Some folks were skeptical and questioned if it was real, while others claimed the footage showed something truly mysterious. Its bright glow and strange movement made it tough to compare to regular weather stuff. Blue beam. While hanging out in Thailand, a tourist caught a glowing object on camera that was just chilling above a tall building. It changed colors and didn't really move like a typical airplane. Some people thought it might be a far-off structure or tower, but it seemed way too high for that.
This is the highest building around here. And that thing is doing stuff, changing colors up there.
Others suggested it could be a helicopter, but the light patterns didn't match up with normal aviation signals. There have been similar sightings in other places too, which just adds to the mystery. Whether it's some kind of cool tech, a natural phenomenon, or something else entirely, what was seen is still a mystery.
UFO? I don't know, guys. Anyone from Pattaya know what this is?
Mexico UAP. A video from Mexico that's been around for a while is making the rounds online again. It's said to be over 10 years old and shows a huge, 2-level craft lit up with bright lights as it glides through the sky. Some locals have reported seeing similar things in the area for ages, with stories tying them to ancient accounts found in religious or historical texts. Even with all the buzz online, there's still no solid proof about what this object really is. Opinions vary, from a misidentified plane or weather phenomenon, to others that lean toward more out there theories. Saucer UFO. In another sighting caught on film somewhere in the US, a saucer-shaped object zoomed across the sky. People who saw it said it was moving smoothly and purposefully before it just vanished into the distance. Its steady movement and the fact that there was no clear way to see how it was powered made folks wonder where it came from. But since there weren't any clear points to judge its size, speed, or height, it's tough to say if it was some weird aircraft, a drone, a balloon, or just an optical illusion created by perspective. Cloaked UFO. A big object in the sky, lit up with all kinds of colorful lights, was spotted moving behind some clouds. It never fully came into view, making it seem like it was partly hidden as it moved along. People online quickly started calling it a cloaked UFO, while others thought it might just be a plane with cool lights playing off the clouds. The way the clouds, distance, and camera zoom mess with what we see can really change how things look in the air. So it's tough to say for sure what it actually was. Light vortex. On a cloudy night in Mexico, a guy watching the sky spotted a bunch of blue lights moving around behind the clouds. The lights seemed to come together into one glow before splitting up into a swirling pattern again. This strange motion got people talking about possible UFOs. At the same time, similar effects have been linked to drones flying in formation, light shows reflecting off the clouds, or even atmospheric conditions that mess with how we see distant lights. Spying orbs. After some weird drone sightings, folks in New Jersey and around the East Coast started posting videos of these glowing orbs in the sky. The clips went viral, and naturally, people freaked out. Some were convinced these lights were alien spy orbs keeping an eye on us, while others thought it was all part of some secret project. What's up with that? Honestly, I have no idea, and I'm sure no one else does either.
This is crazy. My God, look at it.
Blue beam mystery. On a December night in 2023, a guy in New Jersey was checking out the stars when he spotted a weird glowing object. It shot out a pulsing blue beam that flickered on and off, and the light seemed to move around, making it look pretty strange. Videos like this can look pretty intense, especially at night. And filming at night can play tricks on the eye, making ordinary things seem like they're moving in weird ways. Even though it was a strange sight, there's no solid proof that it was anything beyond what we already know about technology. Drone or beyond. After all the chatter about a supposed drone attack, one local guy decided to play detective, and he ended up finding something crazy. He started recording and caught it on camera.
The tree's blocking it. Oh, bro, oh my gosh, look at that. They're four-way rectangular.
But the first clip turned out all blurry. Did he give up? Nope! Then he saw it again. This time, way closer. What he filmed wasn't your typical drone. It was this high-tech, rectangular-looking object that seemed totally otherworldly. Skeptics can call it a drone all they want, but honestly, this thing was way too advanced for that. Feels like there's more to this story. And now, let's move on to the subscribers pick. In December 2025, someone from a secret spot had a wild encounter with this huge UFO just hovering a few inches off the ground. It stuck around for a bit before shooting up into the sky. When people spotted the video online, they were totally blown away. A ton of folks started saying it was an alien UFO trying to steer clear of the authorities, but there were also plenty of skeptics. So what's the real deal? I have no clue. If you've got any thoughts on it, drop them in the comments.